Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex, and today we're breaking down one of the most important books of the last decade, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've read this book 3 times. The first time, I underlined everything. The second time, I started applying the ideas. And the third time, I finally understood what makes this book different from every other self-help book out there. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you everything that matters.
Imagine a team that lost for 100 years. Then a coach shows up with one strange rule: improve every tiny detail by just 1%. 5 years later, that team owns the Olympic Games. 10 years later, they win the Tour de France 5 times. This is the true story of British cycling, and inside it lives the single most important idea about change. I read Atomic Habits 3 times. I'll give you everything that matters in the next 10 minutes. Let's go. In 2003, British cycling hired a man named Dave Brailsford. Their teams had been losing for over a century. Brailsford had one philosophy. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. Instead of looking for revolution, he looked for 1% improvement in every single thing. Bike seats, tire pressure, the shape of helmets, the way riders slept. Even the pillows they brought to hotels, even the soap they used to wash their hands before races. Each improvement seemed too small to matter, but together they rewrote history. Here is the math nobody teaches you. Get 1% better every day for a year, you end up 37 times better. Get 1% worse, you end up close to 0. Most people fail at habits for one simple reason: they focus on the wrong thing. They focus on goals: lose 10 pounds, run a marathon, get a promotion, but goals are finish lines, and after you cross them, motivation disappears. James Clear discovered something deeper. Real change happens at the level of identity, who you believe you are. Imagine 2 smokers. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The second says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Tiny difference in words, massive difference in identity. The first person is fighting their habit. The second has already won. They just live as someone who doesn't smoke. Here is the rule that changes everything. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Read 1 page, a vote for becoming a reader. Do 1 push-up, a vote for becoming an athlete. You don't need every vote, you just need the majority. Now comes the engine of every habit you've ever built or broken. Clear breaks it down into 4 steps. First, a cue, your brain notices something. Second, a craving, you want to feel different. Third, a response, you take action. Fourth, a reward, your brain remembers. These 4 steps run on loop. Every cigarette, every workout, every doom scroll, same circuit, different content. To build a good habit, make each step easier. To break a bad one, make each step harder. This is the framework. Now let's get specific. Law 1, make it obvious. You cannot improve a habit you can't even see. Start with a habit scorecard. Write down everything you do from waking up to falling asleep. Mark each one: plus for helpful, minus for harmful, 0 for neutral. Then use implementation intentions. A precise formula. I will do this at this time in this place. Not I'll read more, but I read 20 minutes at 9 p.m. in my reading chair. Then stack habits. Attach a new habit to one you already do. After I pour my morning coffee, I meditate for 60 seconds. Then redesign your environment. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow. Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle on every desk. Environment beats willpower every time. For bad habits, invert it. Don't fight temptation, remove it. The most disciplined people are the ones who never need to be disciplined. Law 2, make it attractive. Your brain doesn't run on rewards, it runs on the anticipation of rewards. The trick is called temptation bundling. Pair what you need to do with what you want to do. Only watch your favorite show while you're on the treadmill. Only listen to that podcast while cleaning your apartment. The want pulls the need along. Next, change your tribe. We become like the people we spend time with. Want to become a reader? Find a book club. Want to start a business? Find founders. One word changes everything. Stop saying I have to. Start saying I get to. I get to wake up early. I get to do this work. Both are true. One makes the habit a gift instead of a burden. Law 3, make it easy. This is where most people get it wrong. They confuse being busy with making progress. Clear calls it motion versus action. Motion is planning, reading, researching, buying the gym membership. Action is the thing that actually changes you. A professor at the University of Florida proved this. He split his photography class into 2 groups. One group would be graded on quantity, 100 photos for an A, the other group on quality, just 1 photo, but it had to be near perfect. Guess where all the best photos came from? The quantity group. They shot, they failed, they learned. The quality group sat around theorizing about perfection. Repetition beats perfection. Forget the 21-day myth. Habits form by frequency, not time. So use the 2-minute rule. Shrink any new habit to under 2 minutes. Don't read every night. Open the book and read 1 page. Don't exercise an hour. Put on workout clothes. The goal isn't the result. The goal is to show up. Become the kind of person who never misses the start. Volume comes later. Law 4, make it satisfying. This is the cardinal rule. What is immediately rewarded gets repeated. What is immediately punished gets avoided. This is the trap with good habits. The reward is delayed. The pain is now. Skipping the gym feels good today. The cost shows up in a year. So you add an artificial immediate reward. Did the workout? Transfer $5 into your dream vacation fund. Skipped the cigarette, mark the day on the calendar. A habit tracker works for 2 reasons. It makes progress visible, and the act of marking it off becomes satisfying in itself. A chain of marks on a calendar becomes physical proof that you are becoming who you say you are. And here is the rule that separates champions from quitters. Never miss twice. Miss once, accident. Miss twice, that's the start of a new habit, the wrong one. Now we get to the place where almost everyone quits. Clear calls it the plateau of latent potential. You do the right things every day for a month, for 2, and nothing happens. The effort feels pointless. You give up. But progress isn't linear. Picture an ice cube in a freezing room. At -5 degrees, nothing. At -1, nothing. At 0, suddenly it melts. Same effort, same conditions. The result appears at one specific point. Habits work the same way. The plateau is real. The breakthrough is real. Most people quit one day before everything would have started working. One more rule before we wrap up, the Goldilocks Rule. A habit sticks when the challenge sits right at the edge of your ability. Too easy, you get bored. Too hard, you give up. Stay in the zone where you barely manage. That's where you grow. Here is the line worth remembering forever. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Goals point the direction, systems do the work. Love your system and the results take care of themselves. If this changed how you see your habits, subscribe, because next week I break down Mindset by Carol Dweck. And in the comments, tell me one tiny habit you'll start tomorrow. Be specific. When, where, what, that's your first implementation intention. See you in the next one.